got me feeling some way. Baby, it ain't that right. You ain't got control of me, so you should just go find someone that'll take good care of the needs that I don't quite meet. Not being rude, you just need to make your mind up.
Welcome back to season 2 of I Am Beautifully Broken. I'm your host, Lamekkiona. On this show, we talk about purpose, growing, and evolving. Today, we have a special guest. She not only is an artist, but also she does childcare services. And we actually met through a media event, and we just been connecting since then. But I'm going to let her introduce herself and what is her occupation.
Hi, my name is Kaniya, and I'm a child care specialist. I'm also in the U.S. Army Reserve. Like she said, I'm a painter. That's a hobby I recently discovered, maybe a year or two ago. And that's
it. Yeah, we met at the media event, and like I said, we just been connecting since, supporting each other with each other's businesses and stuff like that.
Content.
Yeah, content and everything. So I just want to thank you so much for joining me today. You are my first guest of season 2, so I just want to thank you in advance. She looks so good, y'all. I'm super excited.
Thank you. So you.
Thank you. So I do have a new segment that I am featuring on this show coming up now. What will happen is, if you would like to submit an ad, if you're a Black-owned business and you want to submit an ad for the talk show, I will have it featured on throughout the show. All you have to do is submit it to lamekkiona@gmail.com. All you have to do is say ad for show, and it will be submitted for the show. All it needs to be is about 15 to 30 seconds. Please put your best foot forward, put the top tier quality, so that you can get featured on the show. So I did want to say that. And if you want to submit yours as well,
let me get my ad.
Yeah, get your ad in there. I just really thought this was magical to support Black-owned businesses, as I am myself, and I just love supporting each other. So if you are interested in doing that, if you missed the part where I said where to submit it to, you can also check in the description box. So the first segment is get to know each other.
Okay.
Since this is the first time we're actually talking. So the first question is, what does purpose mean to you?
Purpose means to me, and that's how I kind of started my business, because it was purpose driven.
Right.
I feel like I was called to do childcare and start a business working with children. So purpose basically just means that following your divine faith and your destiny and the plan that God has for you.
I love that.
That's what I think purpose is.
I can piggyback off that. I definitely think purpose is very driven to what makes you feel fulfilled, what makes you wake up every day feeling. I know that every day won't feel yeah, I'm ready to do this, but it does feel good to know that you're doing something that's very purpose driven.
Pursuing
your
passion.
Yeah, I really love that. So the next question is, what do you feel like is your greatest goal of the year for this year?
My biggest goal this year is to just continue to be consistent and disciplined. Sometimes I fall off.
Yeah.
And I have to, get back on track. But it's just to really just be consistent and disciplined, because that's where I, accomplish the most things. And I can't really say... I do want to take my business to the next level as well, but it's going to take consistency and discipline.
Right.
So, but taking my business to the next level and opening up my first daycare location would probably be my biggest goal this year.
Yes, I love that. I love that for you. For me, I think my biggest goal of the year is just, like you said, staying consistent. Like I said, last year I did have a lot of great accomplishments, but I just want to get even bigger and better.
Congratulations on your book release.
Thank you so much. I was so happy to put that out there. It was the biggest thing I ever did in my life, and I knew it was purpose driven. What's crazy is it really makes me shake, because I promise you guys, 2 days before, I actually had a dream. And it was like my family, like any of my passing family, like my best friend and everything, they all stood around in a circle and like were clapping for me. Like I could just see the clouds and all of them just standing around me. That's how I knew that was my purpose. I was like literally woke up crying because I was like, wow, I'm really finna get emotional now.
That's beautiful.
I was like, I woke up like, what? What is going on? Like that really was like the most powerful thing I ever felt like God gave me.
Right.
Like where I can see that and like everybody in the circle were just like clapping. I was just literally like,
are you a dreamer? Do you consider yourself a dreamer?
I definitely consider myself a dreamer.
Me too. Like a lot of my dreams, they're so vivid. I'd be like, was this real or was it fake?
No, actually, I have, like, my dreams are so vivid. Like, if somebody in my family is going through it, I know it before anybody else even knows it. Like, I call them, like, what is going on? Like, what's wrong?
Like a sense.
It's like a sense. Like, I literally have a dream about them, and then the next day, I'll call them, and I'm like, or I'll text them, and they're like, how did you know that? I'm like, I don't know. Right. Like, I really don't. But I just know that God be putting, He be placing certain things. I'm like, I'm definitely a dreamer.
That's me. He tells me through my dreams everything. Everything. Like, this how I knew to start back the show, because he told me to do that. So I'm just really in a purpose driven. Be obedient.
Yes. What God telling me to do. If he tell me go walk over there, I'm gonna walk over there. Like, that's how I'm feeling.
No, right. I don't know why I'm going, but I'm just gonna do it.
I'm just gonna do it. Yeah. Of course. I really love that. That really makes my heart so warm just talking about that. Ooh.
We can go on a whole
we can go on a whole. We're finna talk about God the whole time. So the next segment is just kind of asking you some general questions about your business and just stuff like that to get to know you better. First question: what made you start your childcare business? / what inspired you?
Sorry I say so much.
It's okay.
Lack of vocabulary. But what inspired me to start my childcare business was initially I was trying to be a 9-to-5 worker. Okay? I was trying to like, let me just get my 9-to-5, let me go to school, let me work a 9-to-5. Like, that's how people are getting it, and it works. It's consistent money. You got cushion. Like, if you have things to fall back on. But every time I would get a 9-to-5, God would, it's like something would happen. Like, say for instance, a 9-to-5, I was working at this call center. The whole site closed down. And then the second job I had, it was work from home job. Their corporate office burnt down. Like, I was like, what? Yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm listening. I'll do it your way.
Right.
And the crazy thing is I was working a 9-to-5 and I was still like struggling to make ends meet. But as soon as I started working and just like I surrendered and I was just like, I'm going to get back into my child, because I always did nannying and babysitting. Right. Like, I've always did it here and there, like in between jobs and things like that. But when that kept happening, when I kept like, or I couldn't find jobs and things like that, I was like, okay, this is obviously not what he wants for me. I need to just get back into child. And as you know, my clientele started picking up, and I was like, okay, clearly it did not LLC, and it just went from there. Like, it was just, he kept telling me like, no, this is not what I need you to do. He kept redirecting me, and then eventually I listened. So that's really what inspired me. Like, okay, this is clearly what he does not want from me, and I need to listen. I need to be obedient and do what he's asking me to do. So,
oh my God, I feel like that resonated with me so well, because that is not the direct thing that kept happening to me, but like every time I would get to a job and I'll be working a 9-to-5, I will basically, like, if business is not going the way I want it to go, I'm like, okay, I need to find a job. I need to just do this. Right. It's gonna make ends meet. And like you said, it would be okay, but it wouldn't be like my foot in the door. And I think once I really, like you said, surrendered, it was just like everything just started flowing, like coming together like this. I didn't even know how I was gonna put this together. Right. I'm like, it's just like the small things that God just really be pointing you right in the direction. And I was just kind of like, okay, I gotta listen because I can't keep having that mindset of, oh, this not working, let me go back to a job. I did that so much, y'all. Like, I would literally be like, okay, I'm gonna just go back to Instacart. I really don't even be doing Instacart as much as I used to. Like, I'd be like, I'm just gonna be at home and work, and I'll work all day in that same spot over there. So I definitely get what you're saying. I definitely get where you come from.
Trying to just do it like what everybody else is doing. And then God kept telling me, nope, you're not like everybody else. So until you realize you're not like everybody else, I'm going to keep redirecting you. Like,
that redirection God be doing to you. Next question. What have you learned from college?
Okay, so initially, I went to school a semester after high school.
Okay.
And that's when I started to learn. I don't know is what I learned from college. What I've learned from college is less of education purposes.
Okay,
but more of like a life thing. Like it's like it taught me how to be disciplined. Like, you have assignments, deadlines to meet, and it kind of matches with the business world too and what I want to get into. Like, if I have a deadline I need to be, it's just like a paper. Like, I need to meet that deadline. So I don't know the word for that, like how that connected. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, college date, you have to do certain things at certain times and things like that. So it kind of plays a part in the business world too. Like,
of course.
You have to be on top of your schoolwork and you need to be on top of your business. Like, I guess that's what it kind of taught me.
Discipline. Really, like you said, really just discipline yourself to know, like, I can't do this at a certain time. Like, I got to get this done. I get that.
For sure. Yeah. Like, consistency, just making sure I stay on top of it. Like, trying my best.
Try your best. That's all you can do.
Doing my best. That's really what it is. Like, even though it wasn't the best in the class probably, but I did my best I could.
So I definitely get that.
I learned that from college for sure.
What was your biggest takeaway
from college?
Or just in life?
Okay. My biggest takeaway. What do you mean by takeaway? Like,
well, basically, what do you take away and that you apply to your life?
I think I take away from life. This would go deep, or it can go.
It can go which way if you wanted to go. Like, what's your biggest takeaway that you take away from, like, learning lessons from life or just from college experiences? Like, what did you take away from that?
Just like, I maybe more so of being in the moment more. Okay. Because, like, even with papers and school, you keep going and going and going. Just being in the moment and not living so much in the future. Right. And, like, some things you just can't prepare for. You just have to take it as it comes. Yeah. So I think maybe that's my biggest takeaway when it comes to college and just life in general. Like, be more present. Yeah. So I've been working on that, being more present and stop worrying about things I can't control in the future that, like, so I was trying to answer that without going
I got you.
Too far into, like,
of course.
Deep. But yeah, that's just being more present. Yeah. Being more aware. I think that's what my biggest takeaway is.
I have been learning it a lot too, just being more present in the moment. Like, I used to be so accustomed to, like, vision boards that's, like, yearly. I started doing quarterly. Like, give me 3 months. What can I accomplish? Because I think
I like that. I haven't heard of that yet.
It was like something I seen on TikTok where she was basically, like, saying, like, we are so accustomed to, like, go looking so far ahead that, like, we almost train ourselves out of getting there because we're like, oh, I gotta get all this, I gotta get all this done. You're basically, like, running, and you're never stopping to take the moment. Because I think I did that with my book. Like, I really didn't capture the moment. Like, I captured the moment at the book release party, but that was it. But like, after that, I was just kind of like, okay, what's next? Right. Like, what we doing next? Like, I really didn't take in that moment. Like,
Yeah.
girl, you just wrote a book, and you
Right.
just told a lot of things that you never told nobody. So it's just kind of like, take a breath.
So that plays a part too in like taking in the moment, because that's how like healing starts, is when you take in that moment, like because recently I've been running from a situation where I was just like, oh, I'll worry about it later, like just putting it on the back burner, like, and it's catching up to me, and I gotta sit in it.
Yeah,
I gotta start running from the storm. So don't do that.
don't do that.
Don't do that. Just face it head on and
face it. Yeah, you got to, because when you don't,
it's gonna catch up.
it's gonna catch up.
You're not gonna be able to go for it until you handle what you gotta
Right.
handle. Okay, you gotta.
Okay. We're gonna go on a lighter subject. Okay. What was the biggest takeaway that you have learned about kids?
Ooh. Kids have helped me find my inner child. Like, turning 25 last year, I promised myself that I would tap into my inner child more. Like, this year of 25, I'm finna be 26 in February, and this year of 25, I literally did things I have not did since I was a kid. Like, even getting on a swing.
Yes.
So swinging was my favorite thing at the park playground, and I took the kids to the park. Usually I let them play, but this time I got on the swing.
Yeah.
And since then, it was right after my birthday, it unlocked a whole new like mind, like just tap into your inner child, like go find them again, or just have conversations, write a note to your inner child, do something. And that's what I've been working on this year, like tapping it. That's what children have taught me, like tap into your inner child. Don't lose that, because the things you enjoyed, and that's what helps you find your purpose as an adult, and who you are, and your self-awareness and self-love journeys and all of these things. Like, find your inner child. Like,
man,
that's what kids have taught me. Like, and I love it. Like, I can't.
This is why I knew you would be the perfect person for the coming back, because I was just talking about this to myself. Honestly, I have a lot of self-talks and self-reflections. And like Michelle Obama said something that really resonated with me about your inner child. It's like your inner child already told you what your purpose was. And like you said, you really got to get back to that point. And it's like you already basically found your purpose as a child. You already knew. God already had put it and installed it in you. And he showed you everything as a child. Because when I think about it, I literally saw myself on TV. I literally saw myself doing this. I literally saw myself, like, if I really think about going back to my inner child, I really knew what I was always meant to be. Right. Like, I knew I was standing up I was shaking hands on Black Girls Rock. Like, I knew that. Like, I was like, why? I got to get back to that.
Yes.
Because I had those in my phone when I was a kid. Like, I had all kind of, like, book magazines just of people, in the industry that I'm in. And it was just kind of like, you knew. Yeah. You knew as a child. You knew. You got to connect back with it.
You really do. Because as a child, I thought I would be a pediatrician, because at the time, I didn't grow up with a family that was familiar with entrepreneurship and going to college or even joining the military. But I lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
But as a
it's
child,
okay.
It's like, as a child, I thought I was going to be a pediatrician. But as I got older, I realized it was more so just working with children that was my purpose. Yeah. But I always, as a child, you just kind of think, oh, I want to be a doctor, as a pediatrician. As a kid, I knew I liked the kids, which is backward or kind of weird.
But then you always knew it would be something with children. You just didn't know directly what it would be.
Right, and I just assumed pediatrician or pediatric nursing. Yeah. But no, God was like, you need to do this. You got childcare programs, youth programs. Right. You got people you need to touch, people you need to impact on. This is what I want you to do.
That's true. Having a son that's 5, he really enhances my inner child, because I think, you know how they say God doesn't give you a child for no reason. Yeah. And I really wasn't tapped in with my inner child until I had my son. Right. He really enhanced, he really showed me, you got to tap into that, because he just has so much My son has so much light in him. Like, his light is like, it really will shine up a room. Like,
Right.
every time. His smile, his aura, he like just so loving. He's a Cancer. So he's like, he got that loving, he's very
He's a charmer.
Yes.
He's a charmer.
A little too hard. I'll be like, son, you gotta relax.
Go back. Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of the little boys that I watched that are Cancers, they're charmers, they flirt. I'm like, I am your babysitter. I'm your nanny.
Right.
Like,
I'll be like, son, don't touch my butt. Don't play like that.
Don't do that. Do you
Don't-
do this in school? Like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, I definitely can see why they say like kids can really enhance. Like, I watched kids movie. I cried off of some of the kids movies. That's what I'm saying. Like, at first I was like, this movie didn't even hit to me like that. But now as I'm an adult, like,
Even going back, just watching movies you enjoyed as a kid. Like,
the Santa Claus movie. I swear, y'all, I know good and well it's not Santa Claus, but for a moment, just being back with my son, I don't tell him that Santa Claus not real,
Right.
but just looking, I really almost believe. Like, I feel like I'm a believer again,
Right.
and I know good and well, but it's just the thought.
It's that feeling.
That's that feeling. It's just like, oh, I'm back in that inner
excitement.
Yeah, like, oh, okay, I'm ready for Christmas.
Right.
Usually, I'm really down about Christmas. I'm like, okay, we can get this over with.
Yeah, I usually get seasonal depression.
Yeah, me too.
Like, it's bad.
It's real bad. It'd be like, okay, can we get? But actually, I was really, really excited.
That's good.
Like, really excited.
Good.
All right, you guys, we'll be right back after a short break.
Have you picked up your copy of Why Her Not Me? It is available now on Amazon and also on loveisbeautyprogram.com. Again, that is on Amazon or loveisbeautyprogram.com. Back to the show.
All right, you guys. So for segment 2, we're going to talk about some different topics. The first topic is building relationship with kids. How do you think the biggest thing when you're trying to build connections with the kids, what is your biggest thing you try to do when connecting with them?
The biggest thing is to pick your battles.
Mm.
And that's how you build a connection. That's how you continue to let them express themselves. So say we're in the Target and I'm getting to know a kid, and this literally happened.
Yeah.
He goes under the buggy. Y'all know how y'all have I don't know if y'all call it a cart or a buggy, but it's a buggy
Yeah.
in the South. So
Right.
it's the top part where you put most of the groceries in. You have that under part where you
Yeah.
put the waters
Right.
and whatever else. So he gets under there. And instead of me fussing and being like, get him under there, you can hurt yourself, I just let him ride around it in the store. And just it built a connection, and he was just like, I had so much fun. He goes home and he tells his mom, like, I had so much fun with Miss Naya at the grocery store, and we're in Target.
Yeah.
He's just riding around. He would get from under there if he needed to pick up something, and that's just it. Just pick your battles with them. Like, it doesn't have to be always confrontation or your way, or you don't have to control. Like, once you realize you somewhat can't control a child, it works out better.
That's true.
It really does. You can control them to an extent, of course, and you can instill discipline in them and things like that. But some things you just have. That's how I built my connection. It's just picking my battles with the kids. It just worked. It came easy to me when it came to taking care of them and getting to know them and them connecting with me. They always say, "Oh, you're my favorite babysitter."
Yeah.
My favorite. That means so much to me. Or can we give you a nickname?
Yeah.
You just start building a connection.
Yeah.
So it works that way. I think that's the biggest thing.
I think even just having a child, you gotta build a connection with them. And I think my biggest thing with building a connection with my son is that I try not to take what my parents did all into my current, me as a parent, because I feel like some things were I'm not saying my mama just whoop me every time, but I'm just saying in general, I personally don't whoop Bryson. That's just my preference. I do not whoop him. I have a conversation with him and I let him know hey, and I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't always like that.
Right.
But I built that foundation where I understand that that's not gonna do it.
Right.
That's not the key to him. Like, he could still do it anyway. Like you said, you gotta pick your battles, and I think the
really
biggest
do.
thing I just learned was, I gotta pick my own battle, and I gotta let that one go. Like, I just really have a conversation with him. He may cry or whatever, but I learned to, and I just recently started doing this, but like, I put my hand on his chest, and I say, breathe. Like, just take a deep breath. Because I understand, like, I'm basically teaching him a fundamental thing of, like, of life lesson. And I'm just learning that instead of making everything about a problem, make it a solution.
Yep.
And I'm just feeling like, at this point in my life, I don't want my son to feel like he's problematic. He's a child. He's gonna learn. So I just feel like I can't be like, oh, let me just whoop you. And then what did you learn from that? You just learned, oh my God, my mom gonna whoop me if I do this. Like, you didn't really learn the fundamental thing of it.
So to piggyback off that, it's more so like, I learned this too with children. Problems are only big when you make them big. So
True.
Say for instance, a child, shoe was untied. Like, as a kid, I got fussed at, your shoe, you need to stop, your shoe tied. Instead of just saying, hey, come here, let me tie your shoe, or let's tie your shoe. It can literally change the whole dynamic. It's only big when you make it big.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a big thing. And now they flinching trying to tie their shoe because you done fussed at them. And
that's true.
they didn't even know their shoe wasn't untied. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they didn't even know. So I am currently unlearning that as an adult. Like, I have more trauma than I thought I did.
Me too.
From just like that. Like, or, why you got those rain boots on? Go put something else. I let the kids, we going somewhere, you want to wear rain boots?
Right.
It's a sunny, bright, wear the rain boots.
Yeah.
Just pick your battles.
Yeah.
Like, they're expressing themselves. They're excited about these rain boots that they have on. Just let them wear the rain boots.
Right. Because my son loves to wear slides. And sometimes in the store, he can really be like jumping around like he's about to hit his head, basically.
Oh, no.
But I'm just really learning that, like, okay, just tell him, like, you can't do that. Or allow him to let him fall. Let him see that, you can't. But I'm not saying, like, oh, I'm just let my son get hurt. But sometimes he has to learn that life lesson that if you keep doing something, there's a consequence to that. Not to be like, oh, I'm going to just let you fall and bust your head. No, I don't want that.
No.
But I really want you to understand, like, if mommy's telling you to stop and you don't stop and then something happens, like, you got to learn, like, you got to pay attention more. So that's all I'm trying to, I'm not saying I want my son to bust his head. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying he has to learn the fundamentals of, like, sometimes it's not necessary.
Right. And I'm not even saying I believe in the gentle parenting, because I'm not always a gentle nanny.
Oh, me.
But I'm not saying I believe in that, but sometimes you just got to let them know. Even if you do pull them aside, hey, you do know you have on these slides. Right. And you do know you can bust your head open. Right. You told them that one time, if they fall, bust their head, they know now. And I promise you they won't do it again. They learn it a lot better instead of you trying to initially, like, whoop them or whatever.
That's true.
Spank them.
Yeah.
Or, put them in the car. Whatever the reason may be. Like, it's just a lot easier if you just let them. You pick your battles, they pick your battles, and you build a connection like that. Okay, my mama told me that for a reason. They start connecting. It builds a critical thinking skill. It starts developing their communication skills as well. So it goes deeper than just like trying to do, what's it called, constructive?
Yeah, constructive. Like what they call it, like constructive.
Is it criticism? I don't know.
But yeah, I get what you said.
Like, you don't have to do all that to raise a child.
You just gotta pick your battles.
Pick your battles. That's my biggest thing. How I built my connection with the kids is picking my battles, and that's what I got really good results from doing.
Yeah. I want to ask about the topic about building connections, not even just with the kids, but with the parents. How do you feel like you build the connections with the parents? Because some parents are very strict. Some parents are a little more lenient. So how do you build that connection with others?
Honestly, it depends on the parents. Some parents like more of a connection, and others kind of don't. They're just like, take care of my kids. Yeah. This is what I need you to do. And some parents, they'll let you know, like, I am not good with disciplining my kids. Okay. They expect you to be, because initially, they would even tell me, like, you're soft-spoken. We need you to be a little bit more
okay.
aggressive. So that's how I kind of build a connection with my parents. Like, because initially when I go on a job or I meet a kid and a family for the first time, you have that first week and, like, you know, the second week to kind of get comfortable.
Yeah.
And, you know, just kind of feel each other out. They feel you out. You're feeling them out. And just, you know, try to figure things out from there. And that's how you kind of build a connection. And then the real connection, though, it comes from the kids vocalizing to the parents, even when you're not there.
Right.
Or like, "Can Miss Naya come over?" Or like, that's really where the connection comes in. And then the parents are more willing to reach out to you, ask for my services, and that's how you kind of build from there. And then they start inviting you to the birthday parties and things like that, helping them out. And also, just having my ducks in a row, like clean car record, like I've never been in an accident, things like that, by the grace of God. I've never been in an accident. Just being careful and taking care of the kids and making them, the parents, know that their children are in good hands. And they always tell me that, like, I feel like my kids are in such good hands. Like, parents will literally meet with their kids for a week and they be out of town working. They'll call in and check and things like that, but it's just really me, you know.
Your aura gives them that connection where, like, I feel comfortable. I don't feel
she's
afraid.
not gonna harm my baby. She's not gonna,
because me and my boyfriend definitely have those, like, we only have one nanny ever, and Bryson is 5. We only have one nanny, and he only been in daycare once, and daycare was no.
Why?
No. It was a no.
Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay. It was a no. Like, yeah. I just didn't feel, like you said, I didn't feel like my son was safe. Like, one time, she gave me my son back, and he was pissy, and I was like he was only 8 months, so he's about to get in the car, and I feel like, you know, you holding your baby, and his whole butt is wet, soggy, and I'm like, baby, we got plenty of diapers, clothes. What's the problem?
I provided you with what he needed.
I provided you with what he needed, so you need to. I'm like, so I done took my baby back in there. I'm like, well, you're gonna have to give me the clean clothes because we have somewhere to go.
That's my biggest.
And I'm like, I just didn't like that. And then, like, one time he came home where they called us, and he had like a busted lip. Well, like, busted lip or nose, like, it was in between, y'all.
No, she didn't inform you when it initially happened?
She informed me later in the day. She not only informed me later in the day, but also she said he fell on a Lego. A Lego in my baby whole little thing right here. A Lego? He done fell on Legos in the house. It ain't never had no scratch like that. I'm like, a Lego, baby girl? Well, there's so many kids in here, and I'm like, well, you should be in daycare if you can't, you know, multitask. Like, I just feel like,
oh no.
After that snatch out, like, it was a lady, by the grace of God, it was a lady that started there, like, before we was about to take him out. By the grace of God, he was with her for a whole 1.5 years. That was the most comfortable we ever been with somebody, because other than that, he didn't go but his grandmothers and grandpa. That was it.
Wow.
But other than that, like, I was like, yeah, this is a no. But she was wonderful. She basically became a part of our family. Shout out to Miss Angie. But she definitely made sure, like, my son is really smart because of her. She really enhanced those, like, fundamental things into him, and I just really love her for that.
Just loving on him and caring on him.
Yes. So I'm not saying all old people, you know, got the best intentions for kids, but she definitely had the best intentions. Birthday parties, like you said, we invited her birthday parties, everything. Like,
I love doing that. I love being involved.
Oh,
y'all invite me to the family Christmas party. Okay. I love it.
That's probably my favorite part. And I was like, yeah, we'll definitely eventually get another one, but it's gonna be wild. Definitely I'll feel comfortable, but I just feel like nobody else I've came across in Atlanta that I just really like, okay, maybe.
And that's another thing that kind of throw people off too, as me being a nanny, because I'm younger than most.
Right. Yeah, I'm younger than the most.
But they love it though.
Yeah.
At the same time, they're like, okay, she's a nanny. Like, how does she know? But at the same time, like, well, then they start seeing me. I can keep up with them. I'm outside flipping with them, doing
That's what I
I'm
want.
on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm doing everything. I'm playing. Like, I'm getting my money's worth. I'm getting my check worth, and they gonna be asleep by the night. And that's all that matters. Like, oh my gosh, like when I'm there, it's like she's like everything just goes so smooth. Like, so and you just pick your battles, and sometimes you don't always have to go by a routine. Like, okay,
that's true.
Because that gets kids drained too, especially after school. Keep them everything. Okay, you know what? Today you don't want to eat a snack. We don't have to eat a snack today. Like, so little things like that. We have to do your homework. Yeah. But you don't have to eat a snack. You don't have to sit here. You don't have to. Yeah. So
that's what I do. Kind of pick my battles as far as like after school. My son probably watch like one learning video, then he can watch Disney. But that's about it. Yeah. But it's not he don't have to, he can play with his toys and stuff like that unless he got a homework day. But other than that, I just allow him to be free. Yeah, be free. Have fun. Even though he'd be like, I'm ready to be an adult. I'm like, baby, you take your time, honey. You take your time.
It's so funny because the kids, they think I'm a kid. They're like, you're a kid adult or something. They call me. They're like, you're a grown kid or something. I'm like, I'm not a child.
Right.
Are you a teenager? But you're in college. They just don't understand. I'm like, I am 25.
But they do be thinking like you're a child, especially when you very interactive with them. You very active with them. So my son think I'm a child all the time, but I'm like, baby, I'm a grown up.
I'm grown.
I'm real grown. Okay.
I know I just play with you with these dinosaurs, but I'm grown.
I'm grown. Okay.
I'm not your little girlfriend. No, seriously, because they will think that, and I'm like, I'm glad you had a good time. And I'm glad you can feel like that with me and you're comfortable. But it's okay.
You gotta know when to switching on and off.
They do though. Yeah, like, they do. For the most part, they do, and that's why most kids, some of them, they can just call me Kaniya, Naya, but it depends on the child. Because some children, they don't have no respect for certain adults, so they have to put Miss Naya. And
I get what you're saying.
That's how I gain my dominance.
Okay, of course. Okay, so we're moving on to our last segment. Y'all know this is the favorite segment of all. We usually do talk to yourself in 2024, but this time we're gonna do just in 6 months because I feel like when we go so far to a whole nother year, sometimes we can. I don't know, we thinking so much ahead. So I'll say this 6 months. So you'll talk to yourself 6 months from now. You can call yourself on the phone or you can FaceTime yourself.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Ooh, this get a little.
It'd be like.
I don't even know how I want to address myself. Okay. Hello, Kaniya. How are you? Hope all is well. Do I kind of say it like in third perspective?
You
like
can just
third point of view?
No, almost just talking to yourself.
Okay. Like I do it like when I'm at home in the mirror?
Yeah.
Okay. You are loved. You're capable. You're smart. You're ready for whatever comes at you. You're God-fearing. You're financially stable. You are ready for whatever is getting thrown at you. Like, you got this. You got this. Stop worrying. Like, relax. Like, you got this. Like, you're in a whole nother situation now. You're going to keep progressing, keep learning, keep unlearning. Go to therapy. Because you need therapy. Keep loving on the children. Keep doing what you're doing best. I love you. Keep fighting for your inner child. Because we love you. And I think that's all I got right now.
That was good. I liked it. I loved it. Seriously. And then the last thing, just the last segment of this show is just a mental health check-in. Like, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Girl. I would be lying if I said I didn't have a rough day yesterday or this week. Like I said, I usually have seasonal depression, and I don't like to say I'm depressed, right? But I do feel depressed. Yeah. During like the holidays, like right after Thanksgiving, it's like something just.
It's a switch.
It switches. Yeah. And I usually don't feel like myself again until February 1st. Like, I feel like that's my new year.
Yeah.
It could be because my birthday's in February. I don't know.
Right.
But for me, it's a switch, and that's something I just got to go therapy and seek professional help about probably. But I think that my mental health right now it's a roller coaster. It's good days and it's bad days, and it's terrible days,
right,
and then it's amazing days. So I think that's just what comes with what I'm choosing to do in life, and my walking my purpose, and me asking God for all these things and taking care of. He gonna show you,
right?
Like, so it's like, if you want to get to this level, you want to be this person, guess what? I got to take you through this first. You got to heal from this first. So mentally, right now, today I'm feeling great. It's a good day. I was excited about the interview. I'm happy it came, faster than I thought it would. But yesterday was a bad day. I didn't get out of bed till like 2. It was an off day yesterday, so I didn't get out of bed until nearly 2. When I tell you, like, my mental health, like, I went to Target yesterday to get some detergent, and I left Target with some fabric softener, and then when I got home, I left the bathroom sink running. I forgot, like, I don't know where I was yesterday. I don't know why it hit me yesterday. I don't know what was going on, but yesterday it wasn't a good day. But I'm feeling a little better today. Yeah. Today I actually do feel good. But yesterday was rough. So overall, mentally, I guess on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm probably at like a 6, 7.
6, 7?
6, 7. Like, I'm not, it's been better, but it could be worse.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So I'm like at a 6, 7. Like, because it's the pressure. I feel like the pressure's on. I'm probably being a little bit more harder on myself than I should. But I think it'll all iron out. Yeah, for sure.
I'll do it as well. Mentally, I'm just in a space where I'm very determined. I'm very, like, being more intentional. I think this is probably the most, like, calm I have ever been about things in life in general ever. Because most of the time I'm usually, like, on edge. I'm frustrated. I almost felt myself getting back into that space where I was like, oh my God, this not working. I'm finna go find a job. But then I also remember what God told me and what I needed to do. So I just kind of, like, fell back and, like, instead of getting into my mode, because I stress eat. Really? And yes, I stress eat really bad. Like, I'll eat some bull crap and then I'll be like, why did you eat that? Like, you knew you didn't eat that. So I just get into those modes, but I'm so proud of myself that I really fighting my own demons, and, like, I'm just kind of like, I'm not doing that. I'm them hot chips in there, I really go throw them away, like, because they were from a holiday party, but I'm just like, that don't mean you gotta eat it. Right. That don't mean you gotta do it. So I just really just felt the need to, like, instead of leaning on, like, a depression side, I lean more on God. Like, I'm just I'm fighting. Oh, I'm fighting. But I'm saying it not always like that, but I'm fighting. Yeah.
Literally, so right now I'm in a spiritual warfare. Something like something is happening, and I know things get worse before it gets better. But, like, when I tell you, it was dark yesterday. That's true. But the sun was out, but it was dark. Yeah. And I even went outside, went back in the house. Still was.
Yeah, I get that.
It was a day.
It was a day.
It was a day.
I want to thank you all so much for tuning in today's show. I really thank you so much for coming in today to talk with me. Y'all make sure y'all go follow her. I will make sure to tag her in below. So, and if you need nanny services, she's your girl. So thank you all for tuning in, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye, y'all.